not on this podcast. We're professional, sis. Is it weird having me call you like sister?
Not really. I mean,
Like
given
being
that
super like family orientated, like around your friends and whatnot.
I guess not. Given that your like normal nickname for me is Fooey,
Yeah.
so like the bar is already set pretty high in terms of weirdness.
What is your idea of like how you got that name?
Okay, so as far as I know, because
Yeah.
I have a vague memory of this,
Uh-huh.
is there was a show called Hong Kong Fooey.
Hong Kong Fooey, #1 super guy. Hong Kong Fooey, quicker than the human eye. He's got style, a groovy smile, and a mouth that just won't stop. When the going gets rough, he's super tough with a Hong Kong Fooey chop. Hong Kong Fooey, #1 super guy. Hong Kong Fooey, quicker than the human eye. Tick-a-chong, 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 tick-a-chong.
Yes, there was. It was a Hanna-Barbera show.
Right. Okay. And all I remember is just like the theme song, I think.
Yeah, there was a theme song.
And I just liked it. It was like Hong Kong Fooey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would sing it as a baby, and because I would watch it, and Kyle would watch it too. Like it would just be on the TV, and I just remember, yeah, as a young child, you would just sing it, and that always like cracked me up. So I'm like, yep, now you're Fooey.
Yep. So that's
And
my name.
I definitely called you it all growing up, but I felt like at one point I was like, yeah, she probably doesn't want me to call her this, at least not in front of her friends. Or like in front of like people that she wants to be like cool in front of.
Yeah, I don't
But then I'd be like, yeah, but who gives a shit? I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, here's the thing, is that it didn't take you calling me Fooey for them to realize I wasn't cool.
I always thought like having a nickname, made you cool too. Like, because you're cool enough to get a nickname.
Yeah.
Obviously too, I'm always a fan of nicknames because it's like a sign of, you're one of the gang. You're one of the crew.
Yeah, it's like closeness.
Yeah. So like when you were first born, I was definitely like, well, you're part of the gang and now you need a cool nickname. And I was always a big fan of like, you don't get to choose your nickname either.
Oh, never.
You just get it given to you. But I mean, I guess you chose it in a weird way because you were a fan of Hong Kong Fooey.
Yeah. I have zero memory of anything of that show. All I remember is the
song.
the theme song.
Yeah. Well, I also, a little side note too, I let you choose it because I did say like, okay, Robyn, it's either Hong Kong Fooey
Hong Kong Fooey!
or Dorcas Malarcus. And I remember you distinctly going Fooey, and I was like, all right, well, Fooey it is.
Yeah, I think I made the right decision.
Yeah. You didn't like Dorcas Malarcus. In retrospect, probably would have been a little longer to say.
Yeah.
Then maybe shortened to just Dorcas, which I could do.
And then you're just calling me Dork.
Yeah.
And so
What's up, Dork? Which I could do too, but I also feel like Fooey's kind of a little bit more unique.
yeah.
But I will definitely still call you Fooey, especially like, on your wedding day.
I would expect nothing else.
Yes. Do you feel though that like you have any other nicknames besides that?
Just like
Your other pals and chums and enemies?
oh yes, I have some enemies. I'm
Enemy?
kidding.
Yeah. What nicknames do your enemies have for you?
Oh god, I don't know because here's
Bitch,
the
cunt.
yeah, probably.
Or is it more like like evil temptress?
Ooh. I would like that, but it's probably something like Mega Cunt or something. Like, let's be real. Here's the thing, though.
Well, that's the thing. Stupid bitches, they're not creative.
No.
So mega cunt, that's even creative for them.
That's true. But the other thing is that with girls, you would never know because they only talk behind your back.
That's true. You would never know your nickname until somebody else like told you because their horrible nickname got outed.
Yes.
And then they wanted to make you feel worse. Oh yeah? Well, they call you mega cunt. And you're like, oh man, I just called you Fat Sally.
Honestly, I would be proud of that nickname, Mega Cunt.
Oh, mega cunt.
That's my...
Okay, yeah, I could change it from Fooey to mega cunt if you
know
want.
what? I think that would make family gatherings a little weird.
Hey, mega cunt, get me some pie. Oh, don't worry, she's my sister. It's cool.
We're just like in public.
Yeah. Hey, mega cunt, get the...
My name's Robyn, but some people like to call me Megacon.
I love it too. Oh, why? How'd you get that? Oh, I'm actually really nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how people call like giants tiny. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm so nice. People call me Megacon.
I'm so nice they're angry about it.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedy, open mics, interviews, and the podcast too. It's just a day in the life for Daryl Williams. Just a day in the life. Whose wife? This Comics Life.
Hello and welcome to This Comics Life. This is me, your host, D. Williams, aka Daryl Williams, aka Dumbass, aka Dude that's hanging out with his little sister, aka Fooey, aka Miss Robyn Beck.
Hello.
Hello.
That is my name.
Yes, Robyn Beck. How do you like your name?
I like it pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty well.
Would you change it if you could?
I would not, because of the, just honestly, one, I like it because it's that right amount of unique, but not fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's not like, but it is a little off-brand. It's not
Yeah.
like so generic like Jane Doe.
Yeah. So, I've never, you don't really meet a lot of people, at least my age, named Robyn. Mm-hmm. But it's not like my name's like Nevaeh, which is heaven spelled backwards, which is a name that people give to their children.
Yeah, I know a Nevaeh. I knew two Nevaehs.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I never figured out that it was heaven backwards. I did not know that until just now.
Yep.
I knew a Naomi, which is I moan backwards.
Good.
Yeah.
I think I just realized that.
I knew a lot of what you would call, I guess, ethnic names.
Yeah.
Being going to Cal State Dominguez Hills, which was 80% black.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I liked how everybody had like cool names. But I also did meet a lot of other Daryls that were black. It was very cool.
Well, yeah. That's the thing that makes me laugh a lot is the fact that your name is Daryl Williams, but you're like a white guy.
Yeah. If you go on Google and you look up Daryl Williams, it'll be like 12 black guys and then a guy that looks like me. They're always, if it is Daryl Williams that are white guys, it's always guys that look like me.
Yep.
Like dumpy white guys that are balding that have glasses. I don't know why. I don't know. Just do it, guys. Google it. Google Daryl Williams and see what comes up.
See the proof.
Maybe me. I would hope me comes up.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, at least it would boost my podcast ego.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of people that, give you shit for being called Robyn?
Not really. I mean, in elementary school, because kids are assholes.
Mm-hmm.
You get called Robin Hood, Batman and Robin,
Megacunts.
Megacunts. Yeah, so, there's a lot of, punning opportunities, which I've embraced now, and I very much like it.
Yes. So you're in college.
Yes.
And you're a theater major or a
Screenwriting.
major.
Yes.
But that's an actual major, so it's not just film.
Nope.
It's an emphasis on screenwriting.
Yeah, which is good, because I'm bad at, the film parts.
Like the, movie parts? The actual,
I'm not...
Like
I'm
the
not
camera
good at
operation?
editing or other things.
So, what do you like writing?
I like writing comedy, mostly.
Awesome.
That's basically a lot of what I do.
So it runs in the family.
Yes, it does.
Right. Do you ever feel like I had any inspiration in your comedy writing?
Probably.
Or at least your sense of humor?
Oh, definitely.
Sweet. So it could all be due to me. When
That's
you become
right.
rich and famous, you can say it was because of my brother. He had me. He nurtured my brilliance.
Definitely.
And he was the one that said, "Go and be funny."
I think between you and Kyle, that was a big influence on my sense of humor.
Kyle's pretty funny. He is definitely funny. I feel like we all have the same type of humor in a weird way.
Yeah.
I don't know how, if it's that, you can, breed that, or if it's just, a nature or a nurture type of thing. But it is weird how, you kind of all suddenly, kind of grew up with the same type of sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why.
That is...
Because it is weird how, I don't feel like, I don't know, our parents had it in a slight way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like,
What do you feel?
I think my dad more than...
Oh, that's right. Because we're half siblings, by the
That's
way,
right.
guys. We share a mother.
Yes.
Separate fathers, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Kyle was adopted.
Yeah. So that's even further removed.
Woo.
So we have a lot of different types of...
Genetic cocktails.
yeah, that make up our family. I guess that's a real 90s family.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're a millennial? Like, do you like being a millennial?
Yeah, sure. I know
You're about to turn 21.
That is correct. So I do believe... I don't understand the divides between generations, so I do believe I am a millennial. And I would much prefer that than whatever the newest generation is called.
Right. Yeah, what do you think the next generation will be called?
I don't know. I think... Isn't the one that's happening right now, like Generation Z or something? Or Generation We? I have no clue.
Really? There's something after millennials?
I think so.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they're like...
I thought millennials were like the youngest generation so far.
I don't
And
think
then
so.
there's like the ones that don't count that are like, 5 right now.
Yeah, of course.
You
No,
know,
yeah, like people who are like 10 now, I think, are like the newest generation.
Oh.
Like Generation Z. People who
see.
are like just at the very least, like at least a few years younger than me. So like,
Got it. And what's the Z stand for?
I have no clue.
Yeah, because I get millennials. It's the new millennium.
Yeah,
They grew up in the beginning of the 2000s or whatever.
yeah. I will say I enjoy being a millennial just because of the ever-changing highlights or news of which industry we're killing next.
Oh, right.
Because apparently we're killing all of the industries.
Right.
And that just amuses me.
Well, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it goes back to robots, though, too, because, this is the age of the robot.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that's why you have, that to blame. It's because you guys created robots.
That's true, we did.
So thanks, millennials. I don't want to consider myself as a millennial, but they technically say anybody that was born before, after 81.
Yeah.
It's like 81 to 95 or 98 or something like that.
I've heard 96, but I prefer it when they say 97 because that's when I was born.
Okay.
And
So we're both on the cusp of the millennial boundaries.
yeah, basically.
I feel like I'm not a millennial. I feel like I'm into definitely the other generation.
Yeah.
I guess they would call that the Y2K
Right.
or the Gen X.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know. It's weird how you always have to be considered part of certain groups. Certain groups are the driving force and the other groups don't matter.
Yeah.
Baby boomers, those were the key factors back in the day. Anybody that was born in this generation, they're the ones that are driving this country. And it's what? How does just this one group drive it?
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, I get it though. I get young people drive pop culture
Yeah.
and new slang and whatnot.
And then the baby boomers just killed the economy.
Right. But it has to be everything. Millennials, they didn't come up with a cell phone,
No.
but they came up with new slang for the cell phone.
Yeah.
And how they came up with better ways to use it.
Yeah.
Once it existed. But it was this old guy had to be the one that created it.
Yeah.
But once the old guy created it, then the young guy's I'll take it from here, Pops. LOL.
Yeah, basically.
Is there phrases that you already hate
Oh, God.
that are from the generation, the millennials?
I'm trying to...
Totes.
Yeah.
Totes my goats.
Oh, my God.
Amaze balls.
That's... Ew. I think we're finding them.
Right? What else?
There are some that are just dated 2008 internet slang that just sends me with such cringing.
LMFAO.
Yeah. Or ROFL.
Yeah.
Rafflecopter.
Yeah, raffle. What's rafflecopter?
It's you're rolling on the floor laughing, but then
With the copter.
there's a copter. I have no
Because you're
fucking
rolling
clue.
like you would with Homer Simpson. You
Yes.
are in a helicopter motion, which I can understand. That deserves a certain type of laughter.
I also like the idea of just trying to be maliciously nice.
Kill him with kindness.
Yes.
Yeah. I can tend to do that sometimes, especially with comics that I'm not huge fans of, deep down.
Yeah.
There are guys and women that I wouldn't probably not hang out with if we weren't at the same mic together, but like obviously we are, so it's like I gotta like, you know, put on this, you know, who knows to say that people don't do that around me.
Yeah. You
know, obviously a way you would act around people that you have to tolerate versus you're actually a friend.
Yeah, definitely. I get through that because you get, like, the whole, like, being a bigger person thing. Mm-hmm. I just get through that by rationalizing it that, like, really, being the bigger person is actually the most passive-aggressive thing you could do. Because they're trying to get a reaction out of you.
And you're not giving it to them.
Yeah. So that way, you were just telling them, I am completely indifferent towards you. You mean nothing to me.
Oh, right. That's a cool way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's weird because I've done that with, like, kind of like passivism for a little bit. Like, when I was in high school, I would always have this guy in gym class, like, come up to me and punch me in the arm. And he would do it because he knew that I didn't punch back.
Yeah.
I would just be like, man, why'd you do that? I didn't feel like you needed to do that, but could you please stop or don't do that tomorrow, please? Yeah. And then, of course, like, the next day he would just do it. And then eventually, like, yeah, after, like, the 12th or 18th day or whatever, I, like, socked him back, and then he didn't do it anymore. Because I, like, punched him in the stomach. And but I didn't want to do that. Like, there was, like, for that 12 days, I was like, please don't do that.
Yeah, for me, like, after, like, maybe a year of this one little shithead just being constantly just an asshole to me.
A mega cunt.
He was being a mega cunt. Mm-hmm. I just, one day, he's just, like, ripping into me, you know, because, like, you know, the classics, you're fat and you're ugly and no one will ever love you.
Yeah. But the go-tos, I say.
Yeah, you know, the classics.
Yeah. The bully classics.
Yeah. Like, the bullying greatest hits.
Yeah. We got all your hits on the bully CD. Yeah.
Loser.
It's
dork.
Now that's what I call bullying 13, right?
Yes.
Or 58. Now that's what I call bullying 58. Yeah, we have all the hits. You're a fat piece of shit. I hate your guts. Your mom should have had an abortion. No, you're going bald.
But so he's, you know, he's going through that, and my PE teacher's standing there, and he's just like, you gonna let him talk to you like that, Beck? And I'm just like, no, I'm not. So I just beat the shit out of him.
Wow, and the PE teacher let him.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was great.
I love this PE teacher.
He was an inspiration to me.
He was just like, you gonna, like, let him talk shit?
Yeah.
Beat his ass.
Yeah, seriously.
And I will not let you, you know, I won't stop it.
I'll let it slide.
Yeah.
He's just like, snitches get stitches.
Right.
I got you.
And then you beat his ass.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And everybody saw that a girl beat him?
Yeah, and so then he just, like, stopped talking to me.
That's amazing.
And he didn't want to, like,
I never knew this. I didn't know you, like, kicked the shit out of some dude.
Yeah, it wasn't, like, terribly, because then...
Did you
like,
draw blood?
No, I don't think I did that.
Okay. And he was, like, still conscious.
Yes. I just kept throwing him on the ground because, like...
like wrestling.
Yeah, basically. Because that was what I was really good at, is, like, even when I was, like, a kid, I had a really strong core and really strong legs.
Right.
So, like...
And you were, like, bigger than him.
Oh, yeah. So, like, that's the thing. Don't make fun of fat people, because they've got, like, 50 pounds on you.
Yeah.
At the very least.
They could clearly kick your ass. Like.
Yeah. So... So I would just, like, grab him, and I just, like, throw him on the ground. And he gets up, and I just kept doing that.
Awesome. That's amazing. I've never been in a fight. I've been close to a fight, but I've never, like... Obviously, I mean, yeah, I've gotten punched. Like I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
But, like, I wouldn't say, like, I was, like, literally, like... to the point where somebody was on the ground unconscious or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, like, you know, injured. Yeah, I don't want to be in a fight. I don't feel like that's... No. And maybe that's just me in my pussness. Like, on this podcast, I've clearly admitted that I'm a puss, but...
Yeah, I'm your sister. I know.
Yeah, like, I don't like violence. I like watching it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's my outlet. Like, and so I am not violent. It's like... Exactly. The reason why I'm, like, such a nice guy outside in real life is I like a lot of weird and fucked up things to just watch and have it be my outlet.
See, honey, that's why I watch torture porn.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm not torturing because I watch torture porn instead. Yeah. I'm a hero. Thank you. You're welcome.
You know, if you ask me to stop, then I can't promise that I won't torture you, because then my outlet's gone.
They want to say, like, a lot of, like, Japanese companies that are coming out with these like, real life sex dolls.
Yeah.
They want to say that they're helping, pedophiles and, rapists.
Yeah.
Because, you're giving them, this thing that they can use instead of going out and committing all these heinous crimes.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that I get.
It's
in a weird way.
interesting.
Like, it's weird how, like, you can't just say, like, we're making these for fucking. Like, it's just for people to fuck. Like, no, but we have to make it so, like, no, we're heroes. Because there are bad people that want to fuck in the wrong ways, and we're helping those people not fuck in those wrong ways, too.
They just really want the tax benefits of being a nonprofit.
Exactly.
So that's
I guess that's probably, like, yeah. Like, they're humanitarians, not just profiteers.
Yeah. But just watching, 50 years, making sex robots for rapists to fuck will be seen as, an act of horror. Because, robots will be people now, and then we'll be, the really old people who are like, they're not people.
Yeah, you could rape them.
Go back to the assembly line.
Yeah, totally. Man, I just heard that a third of the job forces are going to be automated within, the next 7 years.
Shit.
So there's going to be 30% of the people that are like, well, I'm out of a job.
Yep.
What do I do? Or do I fuck up some robots? There's a fucking movie, I forget, but there's a movie in the 40s, or it might have even been, not even a movie.
Yeah.
Maybe, a made-for-TV movie, or maybe even, like an old, radio play that was about, a group of people that were getting outsourced by robots. And that then they took over the robots. They literally went and stormed the factory and beat up the robots.
Huh.
So they could have their jobs back.
I know at least part of that theory of that premise is a Twilight Zone episode.
So maybe that's it. Maybe
that's very possible.
Yeah, I get a lot of that shit mixed up.
Hey guys, the internet here. Daryl and Robyn are thinking of the Twilight Zone episode entitled The Brain Center at Whipple's, which originally aired on May the 15th, 1964. Here's a clip of Mr. Wallace V. Whipple, played by Richard Deacon, where he describes how his new machine will revolutionize the labor force. Also, here's a fun fact. This Twilight Zone episode was directed by Richard Donner. I bet you feel smart now.
This is the X109B14 modified transistorized totally automatic assembly machine, which eliminates 61,000 jobs, 73 bulky, inefficient machines, 81,000 needless man-hours per 11 working days, and $4 million in expenditures each year for employee hospitalization, employee insurance, employee welfare, and employee profit participation. Within 6 months, our entire production facilities will be totally automated. Ladies and gentlemen, from now on, Whipple will operate from a brain center with machines such as this one.
But I like the idea of instead of trying to find something else that could better your life or give you more joy in your life, you cling on to I want to make this widget.
Yes.
Instead of awesome, this robot has now made me not have to make this widget anymore. Fuck this. This was a shitty job to begin with. If a robot can do your job, it's a shitty job.
Yeah, that's true. I will agree with that.
And as soon as a robot can write a really good screenplay, then I'll be I guess I'm not writing screenplays anymore.
Yeah, basically.
Or trying to become a comedy writer. If I have an AI make a better joke than me, then I'm comedy's over.
You just gotta submit to the robot overlords then.
Yep.
Just bend over. Just let it happen.
I'm gonna go start doing pottery or something, making Lord of the Rings swords or whatnot. I don't know. Those are probably made by robots too.
That's true.
Everything is gonna be made by robots, but hopefully, as humans, that's where creativity still thrives. That's where being an artist can still be well, fuck, a robot can't paint. I mean, I guess it could.
Yeah, it just can't paint well.
And it doesn't have any motive behind it.
No.
It only paints because there's a program behind it. There's an algorithm that you've given it.
There's no motivation behind that. Because there's no consciousness.
Yeah, and until AI shows up and then AI has I did this because I'm a robot and I think this.
Yeah.
Because I've had this experience.
It's just a bunch of zeros and ones.
Yeah, it's just binary. That's tight. I'd say that's early Jasper John, or maybe some sort of I don't know, Pollock. He did a small numbers series that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, of course he did. Oh,
It was his splatter. That was the ticket.
that's right.
But that's where abstract and robots could really mix.
Yeah.
You could just tell like a robot, like, I want you to just paint by number, so to speak, but it's this random algorithm code it just shows up random numbers. So it's like, yeah, it is like a 3 is blue, 5 is green.
Yeah.
But I don't know what number is going to be next, so
That
it's always going to be different.
That could be interesting.
I'm sure there's already something that's out there that's done that.
Probably. There's a lot of interesting art. I think, that reminds me of my favorite headline.
Yeah.
It was this janitor accidentally threw away this priceless piece of art because she mistook it for trash.
Awesome.
And that's the funniest thing to me.
Yeah. It is in the eye of the beholder, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially with a lot of modern art.
Yeah, I got it.
Have you ever been to the Broad or the Broad?
I have not.
I don't know how. A lot of people pronounce it differently. I guess it's how much of an asshole you are. That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Like if you're a real big asshole, you pronounce it Broad. But
Yeah.
if you're not an asshole at all, you pronounce it. I guess it's Broad. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. How heavily someone puts an accent on the word croissant.
Yes. Croissant.
That's basically your douchebag measuring test.
Right. Well, you speak French too, so
right, I do.
You're even more hey, stop being a douche.
Just chill out. Calm down.
Especially with the French shit. I speak French, so stop.
Yeah. Va te faire foutre.
Yeah, and how much French do you still speak regularly?
Regularly, not a lot, because I haven't taken an actual French class since freshman year of college.
But you went there abroad.
Yeah, I did over.
Or abroad.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I went there I did a language immersion program.
Yeah. That'd be
between
sweet.
junior and senior year of high school.
So you were speaking French nonstop.
Yeah, basically.
And then that's when you became fluent. Then obviously, yeah, it does fade away if you're not
Yeah.
using it.
Yeah, I'll probably get it back because I'm going abroad next semester.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And how long are you going to go out there for?
From February until June.
That's a decent amount of time.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid chunk.
And you're going to be going out there for film stuff too?
Yeah, because I'm going to con.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool.
Yeah.
I think it's actually pronounced can.
It's pronounced cans. Canis.
Yeah, Canis. Canes. Yeah. What are you going for Canes for?
I'm going for Lessons de Francis.
Right? Are you going to see any French films or any films in general?
That's entirely possible because there's an internship there that my college is
Cool.
partnered with.
Right.
It's a company and they pair you up with a film company and then you do administrative work for them or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's called Le Paperwork.
Oui.
I feel also that would be really cool to just be anywhere around that area.
Yeah.
And to, just go in as a guest. You don't have to necessarily be associated or be hey, get me in for free or I want to be through this production thing.
Yeah.
It's no, I'll just pay a ticket and go see some cool movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it open to the general public or
I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just a press thing or if it's just you got to be invited or you get a ticket somehow.
I have no clue.
Yeah, and then how much is it really does every country show up with films or is it just Europe and America?
I guess so. I mean I know a shockingly little about how this festival works given that I'm going there.
Right. The only thing you know is that it's pronounced con.
Yes.
That's cool though, but I'm sure you'll learn a lot once you get there.
Yeah, definitely.
I just feel
how to get coffee in French.
Right.
As an intern.
Mm-hmm. That they take it with 2 espressos.
Yes.
And they also want a little bit of Jack Daniels in it too.
Yeah, definitely.
And with a lit cigarette in it. So that'll be fun. What about your boyfriend? He's gonna be so lost without you.
That's gonna be rough.
Mm-hmm. You guys gonna write each other through the actual snail mail? With a quill and ink and.
I highly doubt it. We'll Skype.
Oh, okay.
I know that much.
Well, that's less romantic, but
yeah,
I can understand.
I know sexting is hard when through
with a
snail
quill.
mail. Yeah.
Yeah, the ink doesn't really get it done.
No, it just takes too long.
Right. I get it. Well, that's cool that Skyping is getting you off.
Yes. I know that's information you wanted.
Yeah, guys. Hey, I'm learning a lot just like you. But don't worry, we'll learn a lot more together. And it'll be weird for both of us. I always want to feel like, when these people put these things now in their texts or whatever, are they even doing it? No. Nobody's really laughing out loud. Nobody's ever rolling on the floor. Nobody's ever doing any of these things. And did they ever do these things? No. If anything, when I say LOL, if anything, I am specifically not laughing. Right. I think it's just to let that person know I'm kidding, or I'm trying to joke with you right now. Yeah, it's definitely more of like a emotional cue that you can't send through your face. It's like if I was talking to you right now, you could know I was being sarcastic because you could hear the inflection, you could hear it from my voice. Yeah. But since it's reading in a text and you can't see that, I'm going to put it in an LOL instead. Yeah, which is interesting just in terms of like the evolution of language. Yeah. Because I always felt like in that instance, we should have different colors for our text. Yeah. Like, if I wanted to be sarcastic, I would put it in blue. Or put it in a different color if I wanted to be serious. Or, like, I guess, like, people do it now. I get it in email form at work. Where people put, like, important shit in, like, red. Yeah. They'll always just put, like, the urgent stuff in red. Which is, like, a really cool, like, okay, I'll just read that part. Yeah. Like, or clearly, if somebody texted me something in red, I would be like, okay, this guy means business. Yeah. But if he texted me in green, it'd be like, okay, he's just kidding. He's just trying to be funny right now. Yeah. But we'd have to have a generic color-coded system. Like, hey, guys, we're all getting behind this system of, like, colors and emotions going behind certain colors. Like a mood ring. Yeah. But for text. That would be interesting. I know there's a lot of, like, unspoken... Mood text. Yeah. I know there's a lot of, like, unspoken rules, like, about things. Like, specifically, my favorite, or the one I find the most interesting, is the difference between writing out okay, saying just the letters O and K, right, and just saying K. Right. Because all of those mean different things. Really? I did not know that. Or at least, like, with me and other people my age. Okay is like, shut up, we get it. Like, K is just, it's just a fuck you. Really? Or at least I think it is. In my weird passive-aggressive mind, yeah. But okay is cool. Yeah. Like, okay is, we're chill. Yeah. But K is, get off my back, or... Yeah, it's basically just I secretly hate you. I'm just annoyed at you right now, or something. It's entirely possible. Right, because they don't even want to waste another... letter and just be like, I'm done with you. Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's entirely possible that literally no one else my age thinks like this and that I'm just crazy. You know what's weird though is that I get it though because I had an ex that did that. Yeah. She would always, when I would tell her like things that like, the cat did something stupid, or our rent got increased or whatever in a text, I would always get the K. Oh. But if it was like, hey, do you mind picking up some avocados? I would get the okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's nuanced. And in a weird way, I never read it. I never read into it. But now that you say, like, there is a difference. Yeah. I was like, oh, maybe there was a difference. Now that you say it. You're welcome. Yeah. Now I know. She was secretly being a bitch. And I didn't even see it. That's right. Or a mega cunt. Yeah, she was definitely a mega cunt. Bringing it back. Yeah, I remember, she... wasn't just the text that showed me that. Nah, she was cool. Yeah. But could be one. Hey. I think women, that's the thing, is it's like most people, I don't know. I'd hate to say I'm always this way all the time. Yeah. But I feel like I could be definitely difficult at some points in my life, or at least in certain relationships. Yeah. But to say like I'm an asshole like all the time, I doubt it. Or to say, like, but I don't know, like, I feel like I'd like to give certain women that I've dated the benefit of the doubt and say that they weren't. But there were certain women that were, like, definitely mega cunts more than not.
Yeah.
The scale tipped. I wouldn't say it's 100-0, but it wasn't 50-50 or.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I know, being like descended from our mother, I have some strong passive aggressive leanings.
Right. Yeah, she's a whole brand of nuts, but I love her.
I love her too.
Yeah, I'll have to get her on the podcast maybe someday.
Yeah,
Eventually, I don't know. Someday, who knows? It'd be interesting to talk to her about it, to talk about comedy. But you were maybe in a sketch class too, right? Or a sketch group?
I was,
but not anymore, right?
Yeah, or at least I'm kind of like fading out from it, mainly just because of like time commitment.
But how many sketches did you do while you were there?
What do you think? Maybe like between 10 and 20.
And these were all sketches that you came up with, or you came up with as a group?
As a group, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I personally ever wrote some, but I like.
You contributed. Got it. And what were some of the sketches that you liked?
One of my favorites was one that we released for finals like 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it was like during finals week, which is coming up again soon. It's basically just a montage of it's basically just a montage of different people just screaming and crying.
Okay.
But the thing that makes that one funny is the editing, I would say. Mm-hmm. Especially because it's soundtrack to like a really happy, like upbeat song.
Right. So there's juxtaposition.
Yeah, and also it's short and sweet and like to the point. So because it's basically one joke.
Yeah. There's no dialogue. It's just people are hating finals week, and we're gonna play happy music on it.
Yeah, basically.
It almost sounds like that's like a cool commercial.
Yeah.
Not a sketch.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I guess commercials could be sketches, especially now that in this digital media age, there's a lot of like commercials that like walk the boundaries of sketch.
Yeah, definitely.
Like some of those like Skittles commercials and stuff. You're like, what was that?
Have you seen the one where it's like this like couple having sex and he's just like jizzing Skittles?
Yes, it was the band one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And those Old Spice commercials, those are kind of funny.
Those are pretty funny. Yeah.
But definitely like, okay, we're going to just think of some sort of weird non sequiturs that just blend into one another and figure it out. We have a lot of toys on our fucking computer. Make it happen.
Yeah.
And you got Terry Crews, by the way.
Nice. Yeah.
I liked some... Man, speaking of commercials, there's going to be always some good commercials coming up with the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
So that's coming up in the next month and a half, I think, 6 weeks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't football.
I don't really football either. I'm in 2 fantasy leagues that I'm doing horrible in.
Nice.
And it's only because the people that were running it made me do it. And yeah, I just wanted to be popular, I guess.
That's always where you go wrong.
Yes. So what other sketches did you like or that you make that maybe had dialogue?
Oh, yeah. There's one that was written really recently that I think is really funny because Hunter wrote it.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Hunter and his roommate Mitchell co-wrote it because they're both really funny.
Your boyfriend.
Yes, my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. So he wrote a sketch with his roommate, and what was the premise?
It was a parody of like those DIY costume things where
like cosplay?
Yeah, like those DIY costume videos, but it just goes really wrong.
Okay.
Because it's like a narrator and there's a model and it's like, here's how to make like a cat and like here's how to make like a grape costume, and they just keep turning out to not be, they don't come out the way they should. And they just look really awful, and then the narrator's just getting really angry, like, what the hell? I did all the steps right.
Okay.
And then it just takes a turn, and then the narrator turns kind of murderous.
I like the turn.
It's very funny.
It always seems to be like a sketch turn when, sketches don't know how to end.
Yeah.
They usually go into like a weird, like murderous stage, or like in a weird, like like fucked up stage where
Yeah.
you're like, okay, they didn't know how to end this, so it just went fucked up all of a sudden.
Yep. Or you could just go full Monty Python and just have police walk in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we don't know how to end it, so we're just gonna end it absurdly.
Yes.
Which is, in a way, kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, sometimes it is like, I bet if you were better writers, you could have just come up with something
Right.
like, and then they killed it. Or they found the grail.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just like, maybe it's funnier if it's not that way. I don't know.
Who knows?
It's hard to tell, like Monty Python, like, hey, it could be funnier, guys. By the way,
Right.
all those jokes up until this point were awesome, but the ending, come on now.
Yeah.
I feel like, though, and I'm sure you could say that too, like being a screenwriter, that the ending's probably the hardest part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I wrote a screenplay, and in a weird way, like, the ending wasn't the hardest part for me.
Yeah. A lot of time, for me, personally, it's like the middle part is the fucking worst.
Right. I think it was the beginning for me, and I still have trouble. I still want to, like, kind of rewrite the beginning for mine. And I still want to, like, feel like the dialogue could be better.
Yeah.
The dialogue I always feel like is like, is this how people really talk?
Yeah, that's
Or is
dialogue
this how I
so
feel
hard.
like this is how people talk?
Yeah.
Like, I almost want to just be like, hey, I want to get two people and tell them, like, hey, talk about this scene. And then I'll just record how they talk and then write that down. Just two people naturally talking about, like, something.
You just gotta do some hardcore people watching.
Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like, obviously, some of the best movies comes from, just great dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
People just saying lines where you're just like, wow. Like, I wish I said it that way. I wish.
Right.
Or that fight or that interaction between those two people was so, like, something I went through in my life.
Yeah.
But I wish I said it that way. I just went, yeah, you're right. Instead of being like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't give a damn. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I prefer your version.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
See, it wouldn't have been as cool if
No.
Brett Butler said, yeah, you're right. Wouldn't have been Gone with the Wind.
No. Just would have been gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I do want to superimpose him, though, saying that, like, on a YouTube video now.
Me too. Oh my god.
Yep. You ever see that movie Kung Pao?
No.
Kung Pao is a movie that's horrible, but it's amazing, and it's something that you should definitely watch when you're young and don't have a lot of expectations. But there's this dude, his name is Bob Odenkirk. No, not the guy that was from Breaking Bad. Not that guy.
Oh, okay. Because I love Bob Odenkirk.
He's another Odenkirk. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know his first name.
Steve, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Steven. Maybe. Actually, I think they might be Steve Odenkirk.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious if I was right.
Yeah, it is. I think so. He wrote the second Ace Ventura movie.
Oh, okay.
And then he did these short films called Thumb Wars and all those Thumb movies.
Oh, I love those.
Where they had faces on the thumbs. Yep. So
Bat thumb.
Yeah, he took all that technology and he used it in this movie as well, where he had like a face on a tongue, and like he took a whole like old martial arts Chinese movie and dubbed over the whole thing, and like made his own movie, but like did like the voiceover over the whole movie.
That is,
and it's hilarious. And then he superimposed himself in certain scenes to like be a character in the movie as well.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, and it's totally hilarious and totally absurd. And I'm not going to lie, you should watch it, probably not in a sober state. Noted. Definitely. I'm not going to tell you what thing you should do, but you should definitely do something. Okay. It might help. It might help.
Might enhance the experience.
Yes, but it's called Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, and it's so hilarious that it's amazing. And it was one of those movies that I went and saw it with my friends in the theater. And, we knew that it was going to be dumb. but we didn't know how dumb it was going to be. And then we saw it, and it was literally, when we got there, it was packed. It was opening night.
Yeah.
The whole theater was full. Maybe about 20 minutes in, there was maybe 5 people in that theater.
Amazing.
Yes. And us. So maybe 10 total out of like a whole movie theater that was like just there 30 minutes earlier. And yeah, you could just see people just being like, no.
Oh my god.
No, I'm not watching.
Oh
Like,
my
what
God.
is this? They probably
Oh my
thought it was going to
God.
be like some real like martial arts movie. Or some like real like seriously like Crouching Tiger or like
Yeah.
Hero or something
Yeah.
like that. And they're like, oh wait.
I wish I had footage of that movie theater.
Yeah.
I would pay so much.
And as a person that I'm like, this is hilarious. Like, where are you guys going? Like, you're going to miss it. Like, this is hilarious. Like, okay, fine. But even some of my, like, I know the girl I was dating at the time, she was definitely like, yeah, this is dumb.
There is an unappreciation, I think, for bad movies.
Well, yeah.
But I think it's growing.
Well, clearly that new Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
And The Room. I mean, The Room it does have a special place in like, yeah, that's a weird film.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to almost think like as like a weird like street avant-garde, like anything's possible type of internet culture that we live in.
Yeah.
Is it him genuinely being this person that just tried to make a movie that ended up horrible? Or is it him playing a joke on all of us and him secretly being this Borat character?
I genuinely
And just not
don't know.
giving up and being so method where you're like, okay, we think he's, is he playing us or are we just laughing at him?
Yeah, specifically with Tommy Wiseau,
Yeah,
he is an enigma.
that's what I mean.
An enigma that has occupied my mind for several years, just in terms of figuring out what is happening.
And that's what I mean. Like, is he a character that he's just playing to the world like a fucking Andy Kaufman type of thing? Or is it really just he was this guy and now we're just like, oh, it's funny because he doesn't get the joke?
Yeah. I like
Or
to be an optimist, and I fully, like with this, I fully believe.
Because now, obviously,
believe
he's
it's true.
probably rolling with it because it's like, well, I'm just going to roll because it makes me famous.
Yeah.
And I don't mind how I get this fame. Now suddenly everybody likes me because of me being so me.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, Tommy, they're laughing at you,
I know.
not with you. And he's like, I don't care, I'm famous. Yeah. What I find fascinating is like little things because like, you ask him like where he comes from and he just says like America.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
He revealed some more recently.
But that's the whole thing too, is that he's just like revealing like little chunks and blah blah blah. Like
Yeah.
just anybody that's like always like super secretive, you're always just like, what's
Yeah.
up with this? Is this a bit? Is this an act? Which I don't mind.
Yeah.
If anything, I would be like, bravo.
Yeah,
because
seriously.
it is like, if you can do it that well and you can make people believe
For this
like,
long.
Yeah. I would be like, wow, that guy is talented, or at least he's committed. But yeah, just like Sacha Baron Cohen and guys like that, if you can do it well, it's amazing and it's funny as hell.
Yeah. I don't think we'll ever fully
Have you
know
seen
the
The
answer.
Room?
Yes. Multiple times.
Yeah, and it's horrible.
Yes.
I've just watched like maybe 45 minutes of it. I couldn't get it. I was just like, yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But to me, it wasn't like, but I want to watch it because it keeps getting better because it's so horrible. I'm just like, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. It's definitely a thing that you have to watch like with people.
I think, yeah, that's more of it.
Every single time I've watched it, it's been with people because I can't imagine trying to watch it like just by myself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I feel like. It's going to be like one of those like Rocky Horror type of things.
Yeah,
it's a cult thing.
it's definitely that.
Yeah, I get that.
So it's like it's the experience of doing it with other people.
And then like crack jokes while you're watching it
Yeah.
and have everybody. Yeah, I love that. I watched that. I did that with a huge horrible movie for a test screening once, and it was called Bloodhead.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. The movie was horrible. It was like this guy, these two brothers that were like separated from birth.
Yeah.
One was black, one was white.
Okay.
And they obviously were racists, but they had to come together to get this treasure that their dad left them.
Okay.
Their dead dad like left them literally like a treasure map and said like, I want you boys to get together because I know you hate each other because your other skin colors are not liking one another, and I want you to find this treasure. And if you find the treasure, you'll suddenly not be racist and stuff. And
Was the treasure the friendship they were making along the way?
probably. But then, of course, to twist things up and to make things a little bit more difficult, we're going to have this weird demon thing
Naturally.
kind of protect the treasure or, like, basically try to kill him.
Okay, yeah.
And it was also, there was a cameo by Linda Carter, who is the original Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So she was there kind of trying to, like, mix things up. It was horrible. The movie was completely dog shit. And it was also, like, filmed by, I want to say, like, Francis Ford Coppola's, like, nephew or something like that. Because it definitely had Coppola on the back end of it. Like, the last name was Coppola. And everybody in the theater was like, oh, well, this must be great.
Yeah.
Because it's Coppola. And then it was like, oh, wait, this is horrible. This is really horrible.
Yeah, I think I've had fever dreams that were more coherent than what you just described to me.
Yeah. It was, and the monster was horrible. Mm-hmm. It was totally like, you could totally tell it was like just a dude in a suit.
Yep.
And it was like a bad suit. And yeah, there was just like blatant things that were like that we would just point out. And that's the thing, like, it was just me and my buddies, and we were sitting in the back, and we were just cracking jokes.
Yep.
But everybody in the audience was laughing at our jokes, not paying attention, not being present. And we even had two people in the from like the test screening like committee that came and said, like, guys, shut up.
That's funny.
And we're like, but we're the ones that we're making this movie.
You should be hiring us.
Yeah. Take notes from us. Like, we're here for a reason, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, there'd be blatant things like this one guy was blind and he was reading from a book. And I was just like, why isn't the book in Braille? How is he reading this? He's a blind guy. Come on. Nobody saw that?
No one.
I mean, obviously he didn't, but... But the producers, nobody caught that. No, where's
thought,
what do you call that? What do you call that? The script supervisor?
Yeah. I think that would be the script supervisor.
The catches continuity or whatever.
Yeah, that's the script supervisor.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, like in Transformers, like, they have like all this like Megan Fox talking about this like engine, talking about like working on this motor, and whatever she's working on isn't like anything what she's talking about.
Nope.
She's like talking about like fixing like the carburetor, and she's like pointing at the muffler.
She's changing the tire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And nobody on the production team is like, sir, she's fixing the tire.
That's not what that is.
That's not the carburetor. I know you're the director. Don't want to tell you how to change your vision or your whatever. I know it's, Transformers. We get it. But that's a tire. Right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't do that? Is it just Yes Man on most sets?
I guess so. Or I guess it's that and a combination of I think in some ways they're just taking a gamble that no one will notice.
Nobody cares.
That no one cares.
Right. Like, people that see movies aren't into that shit.
Yeah. There's with some really like niche things where you can kind of get away without being completely accurate because there's like a handful of people who would know.
Right.
And everyone else just is like whatever.
Well, like, if I was making a football movie, I wouldn't, like, write, like, and then here's the pitch. I would be like, no, he threw the football, or, like, he hiked it, or whatever. I'd try to get the lingo of the sport I was writing for, or whatever, even if I wasn't a pro footballer or played back in the day.
Yeah, at least to make it realistic.
I would do my homework as a writer. Like, if I'm going to write about a car, I should probably put in what really is in that car.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Just to be real as a writer, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. But some guys are just like, nah, we'll just put in some jargon.
Yeah.
I'll just put in some science lingo.
Basically.
And have it be like, we'll call it Apollo 13. Because I put in a couple of like bleeps and blurps and...
Yeah. Or Geostorm, the most recent cinematic masterpiece.
Geostorm?
Oh my god.
Is this like on like the same ilk of like Sharknado?
Yes, but except this is terrible on accident.
Okay. What's Geostorm?
So Geostorm is a movie starring Gerard Butler.
I like it already.
Yep.
From right off the heels of 300.
Yep. It's a movie that just came out like a few months ago, and I saw it with Hunter And
In the theaters.
In a completely empty theater.
I didn't even hear about this movie.
Oh my
So,
God.
I mean, clearly it wasn't in a lot of theaters.
Oh, hell no. I saw it not in completely empty theater. There were, like, a handful of people, like, up, like, towards the front.
Right, okay. So what's the basic premise?
Basic premise is that it's like a alternate universe or something where like technological advancements have caused us to be able to have like all these satellites up in space that control weather.
Oh, cool.
So like global warming isn't a thing anymore, and like you can just like control rainstorms and whatnot, and just
like
create
in Back
weather.
to the Future.
Yeah, and so, but then for some reason, all of these things were equipped with the ability to destroy the Earth, and
Clearly.
someone tampers with it.
Right, like they do.
Because of somebody starts messing with the satellites, so that they can like destroy the Earth, I guess, or
Oh, so it's like an evil villain,
kind of. It's basically just like a disaster movie, but like
but it's caused by one person.
yeah, I don't.
And then, how does Gerard Butler stop it?
So Gerard Butler is the guy who was like who like was the engineer behind the design of all these satellites.
Oh, so he's responsible.
Well, he's not the one who did it, but so he gets sent back up into space with the people, like the space station people who are already up there, and it's like this like investigation into like who's causing these satellites to malfunction and stuff.
Weird.
And
Sounds kind of. Is it exciting? Is it like
it's really generic, and
it sounds kind of boring.
it's very boring. It's a bad movie.
It sounds like it has like potential, but then in your description it like falls short.
Oh,
or
very
just
much so.
like doesn't hit its mark.
Because like all of like the storms and shit don't even start happening until like maybe like shit doesn't start really going wrong until like maybe more than halfway through the movie.
See, that's movie 101, obviously. Especially now in this culture, especially if you're going to make an action movie.
Yeah, seriously.
First 8 pages.
Yeah.
Or you start off right there, bam, action. Then you let up like 10 minutes in, and then every 8 pages afterwards.
It's just bad. But it's like, talking about bad movies, it's the wrong kind of bad.
It's not so bad it's good.
No. It's just like, it was entertaining, I'll tell you that much. Mainly just because me, Hunter, and our 2 friends were making jokes.
Yeah. There is a spot for those.
Definitely. My favorite thing is just like, it's one of those movies where like every few minutes there's just like a really long, like kind of like science jargon sentence. And I fully believe that every time Gerard Butler shot off one of those like big science-y sentences,
yes.
I fully believe each of the sentences took a full day of shooting to get down, to get right.
It was like 80 takes.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Especially if he's not like, he has to like talk in like an American accent too.
Yeah.
He was clearly not in his own native tongue.
No, he's not.
I wonder why he doesn't do that. Like, I mean, I can understand if like the character needed to be American. That's cool.
Yeah.
But like everybody knows he's not American. So like when it comes to like being that guy that could just be a guy from Earth instead of being an American.
Yeah.
Then why not just bust out your own accent? Is it because people can't understand you?
That's possible.
Is it that thick?
I don't know. I make it a point to kind of avoid consuming things with Gerard Butler in them.
I just know like, this is Sparta.
Yeah.
And then he also did that stupid rom-com with Katherine Heigl, I think.
Right. Is that the one where he's like a fucking bounty hunter or something?
No, they're like newscasters or something like that.
That's the worst.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, they hate each other at first, but then they start to like each other and then eventually fall in love.
You know, that's hilarious because that's literally a something that Mom has pitched to me.
Of course.
To write is 2 newscasters who hate each other and then fall in love.
Yeah.
Like, literally that.
Yeah, she pitched it to me, too.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness.
But she said that one should be a newscaster and one should be a football player or some sort of sports player. and she's
yeah, that's right.
she's, reporting on the sports.
That's right. I remember this now.
And I was like, yeah, write it. Do it. I don't want to do that, but you can.
Yeah, she gets offended when I don't.
Speaking of which, Bo, let's show her up and let's say that we could do it better all by ourselves and all just randomly out of the top of our heads with a segment that I like to call Made Up Movie. And this is also something that I like to do from time to time is make up a movie through the power of randomness. And what I have is 2 lists of 1 through 10 of one list is full of actors and actresses, and the other list is full of genres.
I'm excited.
So we're going to have my sister here pick just 1 through 10 for both lists, and then we'll go from there.
All right. So I'll go with 9.
9. Okay. 9 is a fun for the whole family movie.
Okay, and then I'll pick 4.
4 starring Ashton Kutcher. So a fun for the whole family movie starring Ashton Kutcher. How are we doing this thing?
Okay. Well, it is Christmas season.
Okay, so holiday movie.
I think we should go holiday movie.
Right out of the gate. Okay, so has he done a holiday movie? I'm thinking no.
I don't think so.
I think he did a couple of rom-coms here and there.
Yes.
But he's not done a Christmas movie.
Now is the time.
Now is the time. I like that title, too, of the Christmas movie.
You know what? That's perfect. I
now
told you it was
is
good
the
titles.
time. Yeah. Okay, so that could be a working title for now. So, Ashton Kutcher, it's Christmas. What's going on?
Well, he's definitely has to be a kind of curmudgeonly, I don't like Christmas guy.
Okay, he's a little bit of a Scrooge.
Yes.
He's saying, bah humbug. I don't like the holidays.
But oh no, he works at a gift wrapping store.
Of course. That's what makes him hate the holidays.
Yeah.
Is that it's so busy during this time of year. So he's like, this is the busy time. I hate working here. Why do I even work here? This fucking sucks.
Yes.
Another Christmas that I hate. So now what? Does he have a wacky best friend that works there too?
Oh, always.
Or some sort of, crazy ethnic or maybe sexually ambiguous friend?
Wacky best friend played by Kevin Hart.
Oh, of course.
Let's call him Captain Pooh Face.
So we got Kevin Hart, who's also shows up dressed up as an elf and stuff.
Yes.
To just at this time of year because he loves gift wrapping.
He just loves Christmas.
Yeah, he's just so into it. He's just like, this is my favorite time. Why don't you get into it, Bernie? Or what is Ashton Kutcher's character's name?
I like Bernie.
Okay, Bernie or Bernard. So it's really like Bernard.
Bernard, yeah.
But he goes by Bernie.
Yeah.
Or Kevin Hart calls him Bernie.
Yes.
And he hates it.
He's like, it's Bernard.
Yeah, it's Bernard. All right. He's like, whatever, Bernie. I'm Kevin Hart. So what's Kevin Hart's character's name?
Kevin Hart's character's name is...
Tron or something like that?
Joel.
Joel. Okay. Shut up, Bernard. Shut up, Bernie. My name's Joel. Like Noel. I don't know.
That's pretty spot on, actually.
Right. I could picture Kevin Hart saying that. So he's running around being festive, and then so where's the conflict? Does he eventually? Is this a modern day Christmas Carol? Are we having him turn into a guy that has changed his ways?
Oh goodness!
Or is this guy just a piece of shit?
He just doesn't change. It's just a piece of shit the entire time.
I mean, that's kind of like Bad Santa already. So we can't have him be like a Bad Santa.
No.
We're trying to tell a different story here.
What? We could always go the romantic comedy route.
Okay.
And so a woman who works at the children's hospital is just a inherently good soul.
Yes.
And she comes in one day.
Who's she played by?
Who
could play against Ashton Kutcher? Do we just do an easy pull and just bring in his wife?
We could do Mila.
Yeah. I mean, that could be a go-to.
Emma Stone is...
Emma Stone's hot.
Yes, she is.
She's working off La La Land. She could definitely be tapped for this role for sure.
There's some star power there.
Let's say that. Let's say her.
Yeah.
Just because Mila's probably watching the kids and not worried about it.
Yeah.
She don't need the paycheck.
No, she doesn't.
But Emma Stone does. So she gets the call, and then so she's the girl that works for the nursing. Did you say nursing home?
The children's
or
hospital.
Okay.
It's always got to be a children's hospital.
It's either old people or young people.
Always.
So we're going young. We're going kids with also, obviously special needs too.
Yes.
So we have a lot of special needs kids rolling into the gift wrapping area.
Yes.
We have maybe a little fun montage of them getting all their gifts wrapped.
Yes.
Maybe one of them gets wrapped themselves. But it's all wacky, because we can see them and they're still in their wheelchair, but they're wrapped up. But we can tell that it's still a person in a wheelchair.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then Bernard's like, "Meh,
Yeah.
I don't like this.
I hate this, even if they are special needs.
Yeah.
Why are these retards here? Oh, did I say retard? I meant, why are these people that are just as cool as me here?
And then Emma calls him Grouchy Pants.
Oh, yeah, she gives him a stuffy nickname.
Yeah.
And he's like, why does she even do that? Okay, so he's horrible and he's not likable. And then, of course, Joel shows up and is like, I think that she's kind of cute.
Yes.
And what's her name? Crystal or...
Her name is Hope.
Hope. Yeah, I was going to just say, something that's...
Something very,
or Noelle, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something very heavy-handed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Hope. Yeah, I like that. She works for the Children's Hospital, and her name is Hope.
And her name is Hope.
Awesome. This girl probably farts scented roses.
That's true.
Something at least from Victoria's Secret.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. So Hope's around, and then Joel's like, hey, Bernard. Hey, Bernie. Hey, Bernie. You should get a load of Hope, because I'd get a little hope in your stocking,
Hey.
if you know what I mean. Or get a little hope in your step.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I'm hopeful she'll take all 8 inches. But no, he says, hey, Barney, you should get to know Hope, because she's kind of cool.
Yes.
And she also takes care of needy kids. Isn't that awesome, too?
Yes.
And then he's like, fuck you.
Yes.
I hate everything. And then, of course, there has to be something that turns him around. What turns him around? He can't just be the pussy.
No. Ashton does not play pussies.
Nope. He has to have some sort of, catastrophe where, one of those needy kids get almost caught in, gift wrapping palletizer or something like that.
Yeah.
And he, saves the kid's life. Or maybe the kid saves his life.
There we go. And then he learns to
and
appreciate
so now,
the true meaning of Christmas.
Because without this retard strength,
Yes.
he wouldn't have been saved.
That's right.
So this kid with autism, totally that can lift 3 times his weight.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
I think so.
Okay, we'll write it.
Well, you know what? Hey,
it's through the magic of Christmas.
People won't care.
No, they won't ask.
They won't fact check.
They'll feel like that's being offensive. Wait, should we fact check that autistic has 3 times their strength? That they have superhuman strength?
Oh my god.
No, we shouldn't, because that'd be insensitive.
That's right.
Okay, so the climax of the movie is he's about to fall into this huge palletizer and get crushed because he goes on a drunk bender or something like that, where he's he
gets drunk on eggnog.
Yeah, he gets drunk on eggnog at a big Christmas party.
Yeah.
And he totally is you know what? Fuck this place. I'm just gonna go over here and just mope on this palletizer. And then him being drunk starts it up somehow.
Yeah.
Because that's how you do it.
That's right.
You just push a button and something starts. Some huge mechanical machine.
Yes. This completely unwieldy machine.
Just gets nonchalantly hit.
Yeah.
And then, so he almost dies, but then the autistic kid saves him.
Yep.
And then he finds that oh wait, maybe there is a purpose for these Riris.
Yeah.
And maybe they do have a need and a place on this earth.
Yeah.
And then he gets a heart of gold. And then totally starts loving life and gift wrapping everything. He starts gift wrapping all the kids' toys, even though they've already opened them and started playing with them. He's like, no, I'm gonna rewrap them.
Can't stop wrapping things.
Yep. He starts wrapping everything. Then he starts wrapping up Hope, and then Hope starts going whoa, you don't have to wrap me up. In fact, you should take more off.
Hey.
Because she's clearly smitten because
Definitely.
he's so into the special needs kids now.
Yes.
So now Kevin Hart, obviously, he's all like, man, Bernie, I'm so glad that you have not a shitty disposition anymore. I'm so ready to make a snappy joke right now. Hey!
And then when you roll credits, it's a wrap.
Instead of the end, it says it's a wrap. Oh, wow. See, that's why I have you here. You already know how to, like, you know, button it up. And I'm sure you can, like, you know, come up with, like, a snappy slogan.
Yep.
For the poster.
Yeah, and then, like, you can just, like, I think at some point in that movie, Kevin Hart has to rap.
Oh,
like, well, literally.
Like, he has to rap as he's
while
rapping. Yes. He makes a Christmas rap.
That's right.
And it's all like, yo, 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 I'm Kevin Hart, and I'm here to say I like to rap in a major way. Just like my friend Bernard here. Hey, girls, he ain't queer. I don't know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oscar winning.
Yep. We'll rewrite it in post.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like Ashton Kutcher, he can definitely play the mopey guy. It's a little against type, but I also feel like he could be saved by a retarded kid.
Definitely.
Nobody can you know, call me misogynistic or insensitive because we're hiring a lot of special needs kids for this movie.
Right.
So who cares what we call them? We're giving them jobs.
Creating jobs.
Yeah.
I feel like P.T. Barnum said that.
Who cares what we call them? I'm giving them jobs. And he clearly talked like that.
Yep.
I'm P.T. Barnum. Come see my circus. We got bearded chicks, a lizard person, who knows what else.
All kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah. Do you think that, and there needs to be anything more to this movie? What if she has, like, a sassy friend that's also, like, you know, hooks up with Kevin Hart later?
Yes.
You know, she's like maybe Rosie Perez.
Yeah, that's perfect. Because they both have to have, like, sassy ethnic friends.
Of course, because that's what makes them cool.
Yeah.
Because all white people hang out with no other white people.
One black friend. Mm-hmm. And that makes them cool.
Right.
That means they're not racist.
Well, and in, like, Ashton Kutcher, Kevin Hart, I don't even think they're really friends. It's, like, more like Kevin Hart thinks that they're friends, but, like, Bernard's like, no, we're not friends.
But then by the end...
Oh, okay, then they become friends. Yes.
He finds that the true treasure was the friends he was making along the way.
Right. Like, Ashton Kutcher, like, shows up as Santa Claus.
Yes.
Like, in the last scene or whatever, because,
that's right.
like, you know, like, Kevin Hart, like, he's just so bummed that, like, you know, there's no Santa. Like, he's the elf, but there's like, man, I just wish there was a Santa.
Yeah.
Come on, Bernard, you should be a Santa.
That's a subplot.
It'd be really cool. And then he's always like, fuck you, Bernard. Because this is a hard R-rated movie.
Yes.
So he's totally... Oh, wait, did we say family friendly? We meant a hard family R-friendly movie.
Yes.
So he's clearly like, fuck you, Bernard.
Just like...
Or no. Fuck you, Joel.
Fuck you.
He's like...
And then you can have him, like, just at the end, his goal is achieved when he gets to rail Hope while dressed as Santa.
Yes. And that's the one homage that we take from Bad Santa.
That's right. Is
that we have Bernard just have, like, a montage of him fucking Hope and him just saying, fuck me, Santa.
Fuck me, Santa.
Yeah.
Fuck me, Santa, fuck me, Santa, fuck me, Santa, fuck me, Santa. Fuck me, Santa, fuck me, Santa, fuck me, Santa, fuck me, Santa.
Oh, can I at least take this hat off?
No, I love that.
Oh.
I love that.
Okay.
Over and over.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. I would definitely take my kids to this.
Oscar winning.
No, I don't know about that. But it's
what you
definitely...
talking about?
Yeah, maybe not an Oscar, but definitely worth my $8.
It would win something.
Yes.
Like a PTA condemnation.
Like an Independent Spirit Award.
Yeah.
At least. Or a Blockbuster Award.
There you go.
Yeah. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this bitch up.
Woo.
Like a present.
Like hope.
It's a wrap. Yeah. All right. Do you want to throw out any of your social media if people want to follow you?
I do have a Twitter at GodDammitRobyn.
Love it. Love it.
Goddammit is spelled GODDAMMITROBYN. At GodDammitRobyn.
Nice. Guys, follow her. And also tell her that you listened to her here and that you found her mildly amusing.
Woo!
Yeah.
I like being mildly amusing.
And then, is there anything else you want to let people know about?
No, that's about it.
All right.
Floss your teeth and vaccinate your kids.
Yeah, definitely do both of those, not in that order.
No.
Either or. And then also, obviously, follow me at This Comics Live or the D Stories on Twitter. Or you can follow me at my other podcast, which is obviously the other greatest podcast in the world.
Correct.
And it's called You're Such a Sex and the City podcast. And obviously, you can guess what that show's about. It's about podcasts.
Yes.
Yep. Anyway, guys, follow that if you like Sex and the City. And also, just, rate and subscribe this. And also, just look out for more stuff to come. On that note, you've been listening to...